What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Rob's Gaming Table. Today on the table we have another Game of Thrones card game North American Championship video for you from Gen Con 50 held in Indianapolis, Indiana. In this match we got Shaun playing Lannister Rains of Castamere and Chad playing Lannister Rains of Castamere. Both may be playing the same house and agenda, but are both different flavors. Shaun on the left is playing the Clansman style, as you see there with this setup, and Chad is playing more of a standard Lannister Rains. Chad actually was one of my 2 losses in Swiss, and yeah, obviously I did not make the graduated cut, but these 2 gentlemen have, and here we see them. I'm going to post 4 games from the graduated cut. So I had 2 cameras there doing roughly the top tables, or whoever was able to be filmed where there was room to put a camera. So I have 4 of those matches coming up. Then we'll be going to the top 16 cut after that. So make sure you subscribe if you're new here. Hit the thumbs up on the Game of Thrones videos, and feel free to leave comments below. Always appreciated. So for setup on the left, we got Shaga, son of Dolph. And who's the other guy there? That is Ulf, son of Umar. And a Rose Road. On the other side, we have a Red Cloaks, Tyrion, and a Western Fiefdoms. We have Summons flipped on the left. We got Summer Harvest flipped on the right.
I'm going to start counting on my 10.
So Shaun on the left's going to do his summons here. Count on his 10 while Chad decides who's going first.
You first? What's that? You first. Me first? Okay.
So Shaun, the Laney Clansman player, is going first here. Is he looking for Tywin? No, he gets Tyrion Lannister. Not the usual Tyrion Lannister. It's 7-cost Tyrion, who, for those who don't know, he's a lord. He's got all 3 icons, which is 1 icon better than the one across the table there. 5 strength. He's loyal, and he's got the reaction after you win a challenge. Return an attacking Clansman character to your hand to choose 1. You either draw 2 cards, gain 3 gold, or raise the claim value on your revealed plot card by 1 until the end of the challenge. Limit twice per phase. So I'm not too familiar with the Clansman decks. I've played against it 1 time back in Store Championships in December of 2016. But since then, not much experience with it. Those are cards that don't really make it out of my card inventory to go into decks. So I'm really excited to see how Shaun uses it here. He's doing well. He made the graduated cut. The top 32 players of the tournament of 172 or 174 or something like that. So yeah, let's see how it works here in the Rains build. So he's nailed a Western Fiefdoms. And we have Harrenhal. So it is a jumper deck, I would assume, since Clansmen do a lot of jumping. Harrenhal definitely helps that out. So it's all about the surprise factor here. And he sits on 2 gold, passes over to Chad for his marshalling on the right. And he's going to get 6 gold from his plot. Got a Western Fiefdoms to work with.
Challenges to me, eh?
So if you guys are interested in Legend of the 5 Rings, I did post videos similar to this, also held at Gen Con from their single core set tournament that was held on the 2nd and 3rd days of Gen Con. Just completed that series, so go check that out if you're interested. It's in a playlist at Rob's Gaming Table on YouTube. So we got 7-cost Cersei out there. She's got a duplicate on her. Also, I know the glare isn't the greatest. We're at Gen Con here in a giant gaming hall. Can't control the sound, can't control the lighting really. and I don't want to lug around giant lights and hoods and cameras and that kind of thing. So it's all about the small portable cameras at Gen Con. Being in a giant convention, need to carry around stuff that's portable. I tried the best I could, but can't control the lighting in these rooms. There's nowhere to hide from it. So I'll do my best here to try to describe these cards to you. So while we're waiting, let's see what these clansmen do that are in play. So Ulf, the 5-coster is closest to us there with the intrigue and military icons. He has a reaction. After a clansman character enters play under your control, Ulf, son of Umar, gets plus X strength until the end of the phase. X is that character's printed strength limit 3 times per phase. And the further guy is Shaga, son of Dolph. While Shaga, son of Dolph, is in your hand, he gains ambush 0 if you control a clansman character or Tyrion Lannister. He has a forced reaction after Shaga, son of Dolph, enters play using ambush. Choose and kill a Lannister character you control. And we see Fantasy Flight handing out their deck boxes there to the people who made the graduated cuts. Alright, Tyrion is in play. Believer in challenges. Chad on the right, save no gold. Harrenhal's Brang and Tyrion there. And remember, Tyrion, if he's still around, he'll get killed at the end of the phase. So we got a military with Shaga.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna move this a little.
So we're going to see Shaga go back to hand here, triggering Tyrion, raise the claim to 2. Maybe grab a dupe off Cersei and kill a Red Cloaks. And then if Tyrion dies on the clansman side of things, will we see an early Valor here, kill 7-cost Cersei and little Tyrion? I mean, less cost Tyrion, I guess, is how you'd say.
I'll probably have reaction.
So Red Cloaks is blocking for 2. And it's the only thing he can block with. Nothing else with military out there. He's got no goals, so no Hound jumping in, no Burn Men, nothing like that. So it looks like it will be 4-2. No gold for treachery to cancel Tyrion's ability. Shaga goes back to hand, and he gains 3 gold. No claim raise. No claim raise. But he could set up a nice march too, if he bombs in a Burn Men or something like that. March away Tyrion or Cersei with a dupe. If this Red Cloaks is chosen for claim. And it is the Red Cloaks. So are we going to see Tyrion, a little 5-cost Tyrion march next turn? I don't know. We'll see, we'll see. So far, military challenge down on the first player's turn. Looks like Shaun's debating spending some money here. And it looks like he's debating going for a range trigger, possibly. All in, 9 on the attack. He reminds Chad of his Tyrion reaction there. Which now opens up some options for Chad, I'm sure. He can now get that Burn Men into play that he needs to protect from the march. definitely not going to pay for a put to the sword, that's for sure, with no military icons on the board. Could see a treachery on Tyrion's reaction. So looks like it's going unopposed, so we might have a range trigger here on turn 1. Do you just kneel Cersei out? Does it matter? So we hear Shaun there. Says he has a reaction. He just needs to figure out which one he's going to do. And it looks like we have the kneel on the faction card. And it is filthy. We got a kneel on Cersei.
Next reaction is going to turn this to my hand to...
Looks like he's trying to trigger Tyrion's ability to return Ulf, son of Umar, to hand. And he's going to use the gain 3 more gold for the second trigger on Tyrion here.
Okay, anything else? Nothing else, yeah. So unopposed.
And for claim, he grabs a tie win. Ouch. That's a nice pull. So I'm curious why Shaun is grabbing all this gold. I want to see. I want to see. What's he got planned?
I'll spend 4.
So 4 gold. We got a hound. Yep, we got a hound in play. So I guess a double hound bounce is what was planned here. Unless he's doing something offensively here, I don't see why he would do that before Tyrion stealths. So I guess we got an intrigue challenge here, since obviously he wants to hit his opponent's hand. Makes sense. Fuel Cersei too. Might have a tears that you can get off on the hound. Doesn't look like it though.
No widow's will.
And he grabs Shaga from hand on the intrigue claim. And I'm not sure why that hound came into play there. Don't know what the reasoning for was there. So Stone Crow's ambush. And they have ambush 3, bestow 2. Reaction after you win a challenge in which Stone Crows is attacking, discard 1 gold from it to have a losing opponent choose and kill a defending character. Which is a little too late for that. A little too late on this round is what I'm trying to say. I guess you could do that in a future round. So we got the hound ambushed in, so that explains why he went in intrigue there with Tyrion, try to get the 4 gold he needed for the hound, which he needs to protect from the march, which makes sense. So I wonder if he had no Burnmen in hand, if the Shaun on the left didn't do an intrigue challenge, would we only see Tyrion and Cersei on the board? And it sounds like that's it for challenges.
And this goes away forever, I believe. Yes. So I've got 9.
Dominus goes to Shaun on the left.
My reserve was 6, and I've got 6. I have 5, I think. My reserve was 6.
So Tyrion hits the dead pile. Clansman Tyrion hits the dead pile. So 2 7-costers in the dead pile. Oh no, sorry. One's in the discard pile on the right. Tywin is in the discard pile. I was going to say we're setting up a nice Ghost of Harrenhal here, but that doesn't seem to be the case. But we could still see it played on the left side of things in the Clansman deck. I can see a ghost happening. And boom, there it is. And Late Summer Feast on the right side of things. So Tyrion's back, surprise. So are the Red Cloaks. Remember that 901 has that forced reaction. Your opponent may draw a card after you win a challenge. So I'm sure Chad is looking to win an intrigue challenge, try to trigger Rains and cover that thing up as soon as possible. Also to cover that crappy 5 reserve on that thing. So more economy on the Clansman side of things, put another Rose Road in there.
And you can put that wherever. I just gave it to you. Okay.
So this is a Lannister attachment, I think, that draws cards. I think I dabbled with that one a little bit. I could be wrong. I forget even what it's called. I think it's Fever Dreams or something like that. Let's find out. Yeah, it's Fever Dreams. Opponent's character only bestow of 3. It's got a reaction after attached character is knelt. Discard 1 gold from Fever Dreams to draw 2 cards. So what is Chad doing here? He's got 9 gold, Western Fiefdoms. Pretty big board already. He drops 7 of it in the mountain. Oh, man. And a House Maester. Just to add a little more intrigue and power on the board. And also maybe be some claim fodder there. But quite the wide board in the Lannister Rains deck on the right, or on the player area there of the Lannister Rains player on the right, Chad. From playing him earlier in the day, I know his deck does not run Valar Morghulis or March to the Wall, I believe, if I remember correctly. But definitely no Valor. No Wildfire other than maybe in the Scheme deck. So that's why you see him going wide there. Doesn't care. Just asking for his opponent to try to get a challenge through. Try to trigger Rains. Put in a Wildfire. Try to do a Valor. Just try to swarm his opponent here with bomb characters. And it looks like over to Shaun for challenges. 1 gold saved on the right. 2 gold saved on the left. Still have Harrenhal as an option too, to bomb someone in on the Clansman side of things. And of course a couple gold can help. Tyrion's ability can help generate some gold, as we saw last turn. Both Tyrions can do it. just different ways of doing it. So I believe we got a military here of 9. Which the mountain can just block on his own. But remember that Stone Crows, they can discard a gold to have a defending character killed. But they have to win the challenge attacking. And I know there's that Clansman character, Moon Brothers. During a challenge in which you control an attacking Clansman character, you can kneel your faction card to put Moon Brothers into play from your hand, standing, participating as an attacker. So that can add another 3 strength. So
What's that? You have a question? Oh, no.
the mountain could go in and end up getting killed here.
Motion and then do something. Yeah. I'm sure if you need to ask a judge something. That is, I don't know.
No defenders. Now it's time for Shaun to take his time here, figuring out his reactions and what he wants to do.
Reactions? Yeah, I will have a reaction for sure.
So we see a straight up put to the sword, but the Hound is first, of course, forced reaction. Another thing, Chad does not want to win and have his plot trigger and have Shaun draw a card also, so.
I'm gonna use Tyrion to gain 3 gold.
So Tyrion's triggered, the Stone Crows go back to hand, and 3 gold generated.
Nothing else.
And claim is the House Maester. Now here's the problem. Shaun goes aggressive and Chad just lets it all go unopposed. Shaun doesn't really gain much, and then Chad can just come hit him back with his board of characters there. So now we have Ulf, Son of Umar, back in play, and reaction after he enters play, he gets plus X strength. And X is that character's printed strength, so he's plus 4. So he's 8 strength. So now we have an intrigue of 13, I think.
Quite a bit. He's 8 and this is 5, so 13. Trigger Tyrion. Yeah.
And Tyrion generating some gold, of course, on the opposite side of the board. And it looks like Chad's going to block with the red cloaks just to prevent the unopposed, but Rains could still trigger. And I'm sure he's going to trigger Tyrion to send Ulf back to hand so he doesn't die after coming in for a Harrenhal there. Which is a great little combo. Shaun debating on the range trigger here. Does he slap down a wildfire? Does he have a wildfire? I think he would kill maybe the Hound and the red cloaks if the wildfire hit.
I got 5. I will use him to gain 3.
And Ulf's going back to hand, of course. Money again.
Second reaction.
And now we get range triggered. And there it is, wildfire. And yeah, it's the Hound and the red cloaks. Still duped Cersei. Tyrion having some fever dreams, and the Mountain are still sticking around here to deal with. But killing the Hound, that's no easy feat. So we got 4 gold spent here. I think the Hound's jumping in. most likely. Yep, it's the Hound. So I think it's time for Chad to do his challenges here. So we're about 25 minutes into the game here, and we're still only halfway through plot 2. So both these guys playing nice and slow here, being very careful. Try not to make mistakes. Take time judging each order of reactions. Make sure they don't miss anything.
No response to winning. Unopposed check. Unopposed claim.
Score right now is 3-1 for the Klansmen. So we got an intrigue here. Cersei not kneeling to attack with Tyrion. After he kneels, we get the 2-card draw off of Fever Dreams.
And I'll trigger him first. Yeah, yep.
So no defenders. We get trigger on Late Summer Feast. And we got Rains triggered for Filthy to kneel out the Hound.
Yep, and your house cards now. Not that it really is. And claim was a bunch of cards. There are a lot. So I'll put all of them out like this.
And he grabs all Fund the Claim. And of course, we got the Mountain coming in on a big military 10 strength here. Is he going to hit a 7-coster, a 3-coster off the top of the deck? Is it a character? Love watching the Mountain Lottery here. Oh, put to the sword on Tyrion. Oh no. Oh no. It begins. So we're going to have, 2 gold spent. Hands Judgment. No hands on the other side, looks like. So Tyrion's not dead, but we're going to have to deal with Military Claim. Assuming it's the Hound. Or is it Podrick? Podrick coming in for 2 gold.
1, 2, 3, shoot.
That's the Hound. The Hound's dead on both sides now. Renown, we got Pillage. It's just a great haul. I got excited. Just a great haul. And we got a power with Cersei Lannister. 6 strength, probably going unopposed here.
You got it.
And quickly Chad has shot up to 7 power now to 2.
Yeah, you probably have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so I can discard 2.
So it sounds like Shaun's 2 over reserve here, has to discard. We see Chad there hiding his out-of-game scheme plots under his house card agenda there. Now I got an interesting question for you guys, which I'm sure someone can answer in the comments below. If something's removed from game, like I know with discard and dead pile, it's open knowledge to your opponent. They can look through it. What about cards that can get removed from game, like your used scheme plots? I guess the only other card I can think of is Varys getting removed from game. See how many Varyses have left the game. Like, is that knowledge your opponent can know, or can you just kind of hide those and you don't have to keep them available for your opponent like you do discard and dead piles? Just curious. Not a big deal, I don't think, but it's an interesting question, I think. Yeah, let me know if you guys know. So we got summons now on the other side into close call. So the Hound is now moved to the discard pile for the Clansman player on the left. And of course he drew a card, I'm sure, off of that, since no winter plot across the board from him. And let's try to see what Chad grabs for summons here. It's going to be Jamie. Not enough economy to get him into play right now. But I think a Great Hall could change that.
Why is he loyal? Why is he loyal? 20 minutes left, y'all.
King's Road could change that.
Draw 2.
So it looks like Chad's going first this time. Obviously at Shaun's choice, since he had less power, they both tied for 0 on initiative. But I mean, when you just drew Jamie and you have Cersei on the board, if you can get Jamie in play, going first with 2 characters that don't kneel to attack, that's not a bad thing. Does he have a Great Hall or a King's Road to help get Jamie into play? Or I guess a Western Fiefdoms, and that'll work. Fiefdoms, whatever. But no, he's going to go with Janos Slint, who's got Intimidate, which is another great keyword when you're going first. And you can use Tyrion to generate some more gold there to help buff Janos if needed. And help kneel something down across the board. Assuming there is something in play to kneel down. Lannisport Merchant on the other side here. And now the Hound's played, since he was moved using close call to the discard pile. And 5 gold saved. Over to the Lannister player on the right here for his challenges. Chat debating the Rains trigger here, looking through his unused scheme plots. He's already used Filthy. I'm not sure what the rest of his scheme plots are, but I'm assuming Power Behind the Throne, Wildfire in there, maybe Varys' Riddle, Forgotten Plans, Wardens of the West could be in there. Playing Put to the Sword, maybe Littlefinger's Meddling? I don't know. Curious to see. So he's going all in on the intrigue here, trying to get Janos into play, or his Intimidate into play. And Cersei not kneeling to attack there. Tyrion doing some stealth on Tyrion, I'm sure. And of course, 2 gold generated from Tyrion, putting Chad at 3 gold. And yeah, there was a stealth on from Tyrion to Tyrion. So it's 12 strength right now, but with Janos' ability, I think he can add another 6 to it. And it's going to be no defenders. So let's see what scheme plot we flip here, if any. And power behind the throne, so we get a stand token. And claim is the Moon Brothers. Not a bad hit on a Clansman deck, I think. Cersei gets a reaction, of course. And who are we going to intimidate here? I mean, you could trap the Hound on the board, which is pretty huge. But you could also take out a 5-strength Tricon. And, of course, yeah, I think it's the Hound. I think that's the right call. Stop the Hound bounce when your opponent has 5 gold sitting on his house card. Makes sense. I'm sure he has other stuff he can use it for, but takes one option away. And Janos will stand, of course, getting dual intimidate here. Can go in with the Mountain for a beastly 12 strength military if he wants. And yeah, he's going to do it. Can get another intimidate here in on either Tyrion or something that jumps out of hand. And I'm sure Chad's sitting on a Burn Man or something possibly that can jump in and can handle what might be coming back at him here, if anything. But there is still a standing Harrenhal across the board and 5 gold. So he could have to deal with some military claim coming back at him, which could easily be dealt with a Burn Man. Could get rid of Cersei's dupe, but that's a little risky. So we get an unopposed military here. Alright, we're going to see another put to the sword. Nope. Unopposed power. Oh, we get a Podrick with the extra gold spent to kill. But a treachery. And a Hand's Judgment cancel.
That can be treachery, right? It's,
So the reaction's still going through. And a target kill on the mountain with Podrick. I love that play. I love it. I've been burnt by it, and I've burned people with it. It's fun. And a big intimidate, of course, still from Janos, who's still around, so his keyword goes off. But the mountain won't be around for keywords, obviously. No pillage. And, of course, Tyrion goes down, since the challenge was still 1, 12-0. Enough for intimidate on Tyrion, for sure. And Cersei coming in on a power? And Podrick will block the unopposed. Claim of 1. Puts Chad up 11-1. And over to Shaun for his challenges here. We're going to see a Harrenhal knelt here, looks like. Who's he bringing into play? I'm assuming it's a Clansman. Yeah, it's Ulf. Ulf is back, coming into play, triggering, I'm sure, getting +4 strength.
I mean, his reaction goes off, so he'll be +4. Then take an action and try to nightmares Tyrion.
And Tyrion gets nightmares, so Ulf is going to stick around. And that means he will die at the end of phase due to the action on Harrenhal, the text there. And we got an intrigue of 8 going unopposed. Looks like we're getting a schemes trigger. And he's going to do a power behind the throne so he can stand someone up and do a challenge back here. And a Rose Road grabbed on the entry claim. And stand token on Ulf coming in for a military. Got a claim of 1. Do you kill Janos? Do you get rid of the dupe on Cersei? I don't think you kill Tyrion, but the dupe on Cersei looks like it's what's going to be chosen.
Alright, go to Dom. So I guess I'll die. You'll take Dom.
And Ulf dies from Harrenhal. And it looks like Dominus goes to Chad on the right, having some gold saved there. And all the characters knelt. And we're at 12-3.
That's a lot of wildlands, boys.
So they're both trading discard piles here.
My challenges. That's a low number of power icons you got there. Oh, this gets picked up. I text him.
I'm locked in.
Correct. And then we can't lose.
And while we're waiting for them to choose plots, if you're in the Toronto, Ontario area or can make it to the Toronto, Ontario area for the Game of Thrones LCG Canadian National Championships on September 22nd and 23rd, you should do so. Go to 401games.ca. You can buy your tickets there. But yeah, you should come. I'll be there trying to stream, film, all that business. So definitely coverage coming up from Canadian Nationals on the channel, so stick around for that. Subscribe. But yeah, if you're in the area and can play, you should do so. Let's try to make this a great tournament. Alex Hines from former Beyond the Wall fame is our tournament organizer. He's bringing some great extra prizes. It's held at the same place Canadian Nationals was last year. And it looks like we got March to get rid of a Landsport Merchant into a Call in the Banners. And March going off first, with Shaun going first, I guess, to do that. To make Call in the Banners get 1 less gold. So Janos gets the March. Yeah, I'll try to remember to put the link to Canadian Nationals information in the description of this video. So go check that out if you're interested. And you can also reach out to Alexander Hines on Facebook for more information. If you're curious where to stay, where it is, anything like that, he should be able to help you out. So we got Jamie in on the Klansman side with a dupe. Are we going to see this game turned around? Going first, you got Jamie in play. Not much going on the other side right now, just Tyrion and Cersei. But no Valor played there. I guess it makes sense. Tyrion gets a dupe. And we got Grandmaster Pycelle in play. And a Seal of the Hand on Tyrion. Gonna get some double stealthing happen here, I'm sure.
You have 1 card.
I'm trying for 6 counting copper. 18, 20, 16. I have 6 gold.
And Chad only sitting with one card in hand, it looks like. That's interesting. And no counting coppers played on the other side for him to flip into a Varys Riddle to just copy it.
It's like 14.
I don't think you'd want to flip into Varys Riddle on March with March showing right now, but but he definitely needs cards. Maybe he's gonna do a counting coppers of his own the next round if we make it that far. I think you have to be careful here. Even though Shaun can win a military, he'll most likely just get a dupe off Tyrion, which is not a bad thing. If he's going to go another round and you can get a juicy Valor off, that'd be great. But you have to be careful with Tyrion just coming back and stealthing you and winning possibly some unopposed challenges. And definitely intrigue, helping Cersei get some more power. We could see us close out here right now. 12 power on the right side here, and only 3 on the left, so you don't want to go too aggressive and just let Chad close it out here.
Just gonna throw away intrigue.
I'm gonna.
And heal your fucking reaction.
Now, if he can get a Clansman into play, which he just did with the Stone Crows, he can get them back to hand, generate 3 more gold with Tyrion, get enough to play the Hound in, as long as he can win a challenge with the Hound and get him back to hand. You got to watch out for treacheries coming from across the board, though. But if he can get that to work, he might have a Hound in hand to be able to come in and possibly block a power challenge fully without getting stealthed by Tyrion. But I'm sure he'll have Cersei involved too. So a military here with Jaime and the Stone Crows. 8 strength.
What did you get back?
Returning to.
Oh, you could raise claim here with Tyrion. Yeah, he's going to raise the claim, get rid of Pycelle and a dupe off Tyrion.
So that's my only reaction.
So yeah, Pycelle and the dupe off Tyrion makes sense. Jaime gets a power for winning a military. And the Hound going in on a power challenge makes sense. You got to get him back to hand, I think. I just don't know how he's going to get the money to play him back out, though. But I think he's trying to get some power off his opponent's house card to make it harder for him to close it out. Maybe he can get Chad to kneel a character here on the defense. But I don't think that's going to happen yet. Sounds like it was unopposed. Forced reaction. Hound goes back to hand.
Alright, unopposed claim.
And Shaun is shot up, though, to 7 power here.
10 to 10, you can stand.
Or that's 11 power to 7 right now.
I hope, as long as it's fair off this hand.
Now, doing the intrigue, though, you'll feed Tyrion some gold, and I don't think that's what you want to do. He is going to do it, though. Wow. 10 strength intrigue, maybe trying to get something to kneel out on the defense, which most likely won't happen. But maybe if you want to block the Rains trigger. What could he trigger for Rains?
You have wildfire power and can I see yours? Yeah, it's
So yeah, they're going to compare used scheme plots here. See what's the options.
Yeah, that's
I was pretty sure you started on that.
so yeah, I'm intrigued for 10.
I'm pretty sure you were the one earlier who said you had torch in your deck.
There.
And it looks like Tyrion's going to block for 4.
I have more than 5. I
range trigger here. What is it? Ferris's Riddle to gain some money.
Yep. So I'll get 2.
And 2 golds. There you go. That's how he's going to generate some money.
Okay.
And claim of 1 gets rid of that Jamie we saw grabbed earlier on the summons. Chad has no cards left in hand. And he's going to pass over to Chad for challenges, who can stand up Tyrion with Seal the Hand there. For a nice unopposed power challenge. You can see Cersei coming in on Intrigue. Looks like it'll be unopposed at this point, but we'll see what happens. So Intrigue, Cersei coming in. 3 gold spent, and Stone Crows are ambushed back in. And that'll go unopposed.
No reaction here. Yep. And then claim.
No range trigger. Claim gets rid of a Moon Brothers. And Cersei gets the power off that reaction, of course. Tyrion stands up. And I think we're doing an unopposed power with Tyrion. That should be it. And that's game. Congrats to Chad. That was a slugfest. It was cool to see that Clansman deck fire off a little bit there. But I wasn't able to deal with the bomb characters across the board, just racking up power. Yeah, but good job on both players. We got another game coming up here from the 6th round of the tournament, the 1st round of the graduated cut. 2 more games coming up in the 2nd round of the graduated cut, and the top 16 after that. So stick around. Like I said, if you're new here, subscribe, hit the like button on these Game of Thrones videos if you want to see more. Appreciate the support. And if you'd like to support the channel with some cash, you can do so at patreon.com/Rob's Gaming Table. The link is in the description below. You can donate as little as $1 a month. And you saw at the beginning and end of the video all the people who support the channel. Thank you to everyone.